Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to TRICENTIS Tosca Advanced Training. So this is our lesson 15 as part of advanced training, or it is a lesson 30 as an overall TRICENTIS Tosca automation tutorial. So in this lesson, I'm going to talk about a very important concept called handling embedded controls inside the table cells. Okay, so how can we handle the controls that are available in any kind of table or a web table within the page, right? So how can we handle while automating your test cases? Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. So now let us jump onto the system and see how can we handle embedded controls in table cells. Okay, so now let me go to my TRICENTIS Tosca, right? So this is my TRICENTIS Tosca. So I want to create a new exercise called, let me create a new exercise. I'll name this as handling embedded controls in table. Okay, so now first, before we start automating a test case, let us first understand what test case are we going to automate. Okay, so as you all know, we'll be moving to our web shop, demo web shop provided by TRICENTIS. Okay, as we are doing in all the classes. Okay, so now let us navigate to shopping cart. Okay, under shopping cart, if I want to update the shopping cart by removing one of the item from the shopping cart, how can we do that? Check the checkbox under remove column, right? You have a remove checkbox and then click on update shopping cart, correct? So now whatever the checkbox that we are seeing here, right? This is actually part of a web table. It's a table. Under table called shopping cart table, we have a column called remove. Under remove column, you have a checkboxes. Under products column, you have all the products that you added. Under price column, you have price of each product and quantity of each product and total of your each product. So now if I want to steer the control that is inside the table, which is remove checkbox, how can we do that? Okay, so now for that, let me just jump onto my TRICENTIS Tosca, and here let us go to modules. Okay, this is my module, right? I want to scan the web table. Okay, let us click on scan and click on application. So what I'm going to do, so I want to scan the control within the table, right? So remove checkbox. So let me do that. Okay, so here I want to scan this. This is my application. I want to scan. Click on scan. And now, okay, so now let me select on screen option. Okay, select on screen. If I select this checkbox, okay, this is my checkbox. Okay, select this checkbox. As soon as you select this checkbox, I want to unselect this. Now let us see more controls by clicking on the filters to the towards right side. Okay, let's click on this towards right side. If you see here closely, if you observe closely, let me expand this. This remove checkbox is under table called this one, right? So that's why I want to add the table also. Select this, and now I want to rename this as shopping cart table. Okay, but if you see, your web table is not uniquely identified, so you need to make sure your web table is uniquely identified. Okay, for that I'm going to simply click on make unique. So now you can see the orange color is disappeared. That means your web table is now uniquely identified. What about this one? This is your checkbox. If you see, I have multiple checkboxes. Here is one checkbox. Let me go further. Okay, Let me go further. If you see, observe closely, these checkboxes are under table row. If you see TR, first row has this checkbox, product, price, total. Second row, again it has a checkbox, product, total, everything, right? So it's basically the row of tables, correct? So now you have a duplicates. That's why the checkbox is not uniquely identified. That is okay. I just want to keep moving, okay? I'm going to name this as remove checkbox. Okay, I'm naming this as remove checkbox, and this checkbox is not uniquely identified. Why? Let's go and see here how this checkbox is getting identified by using name called remove from cart and the tag called input. Okay, let me take a snip of this one. Okay, I want to just take snip of this one so that I can use this in further session. Okay, let's take a snip. Okay, I want to just take a snip. So your remove checkbox is uniquely identified by using name and tag. Okay, I just took the screenshot of that. Okay, let's keep like that. Okay, so now I want to add these two controls, web table and your remove, one of the remove checkbox, even though it is not uniquely identified. Okay, let's save this. I'm saving it and let's close this. Okay, so now let us go back to TRICENTIS Tosca. So this is the new module that we added just now. Okay, this is the new module that we added. Okay, so now I want to create a test case now. What? Empty shopping cart test case. I want to empty this shopping cart by checking each item and click on update shopping cart. Check this item, update the shopping cart. Correct? To handle this, update shopping cart button is outside your web table. But these checkboxes are inside the table. Correct? So let's go back here. Let me create one new test case called empty shopping cart. Empty shopping cart. Okay, so now I want to drag and drop this shopping cart. Just now we scanned. Okay, drag this and drop here. So now let's just minimize this modules little bit and let us focus on test case now. Okay, so if you see here, now your web table is available. Okay, and the web table shopping cart is having a row and a cell, and this has a column and a cell. But if you see, remove checkbox is outside the table. Outside the table. Now let us say I want to directly check this checkbox. We'll see what happens. Okay, just true. To check the checkbox, you need to select either true or false. If you select true, that means it's going to check the checkbox. Okay, I selected true. Now if I run the test case now, okay, it is going to fail. Let us see. Why? Because the remove checkbox is not uniquely identified, because you have two remove checkboxes with a name and ID or tag. The name and tag are same for both of them. Now Tosca will identify more than one control here, more than one checkbox. So that's why the test case is going to fail. Let's see what happens now. So it is failed. Let's see the result. It should say Tosca identified more than one control, right? Let's go here and see here. It says C. It says more than one control found for action remove checkbox. So now how can we handle this? So now the way how can we handle is, we need to somehow tie our checkbox to the particular row. Let's assume if I'm able to tie the checkbox for a particular row. So my first row has this checkbox. First I need to identify the row uniquely, and from that row I can check the checkbox. In the same way, I need to identify a row uniquely, second row, and then you can check the you can check the checkbox under second row, right? So that means we need to tie this remove checkbox to the corresponding row cell, either your first row cell or is it second row cell. That's how you can uniquely identify. So now how can we do that? It's very easy. Okay, so what we gonna do, let's go back to our module again. Okay, let's go back to modules again. Now if you see, I want to tie this remove checkbox to the row of cell. How? Simply drag this and drop onto the row cell. So now you see your remove checkbox is tied to a cell under particular row, right? Under a row basically within the web table. See, now you have a row, you have a column, under row, under one of the cell you have remove checkbox. Now it's our duty to identify a unique row now. Okay, so what we are going to do here now, I want to steer a row. That means I want to steer a control which is checkbox under row 1. So that's why what I'm going to do, for row I'm going to select $1, which represents your first row of the table excluding the headers. And now what is the column I want to select? The column remove I want to select. Let's select the column remove. Okay, so now if you see under column remove, we already added a checkbox called remove checkbox. So now let us select it as true in this case. So now you are able to identify a specific row, and then once you identify the unique row, now you are steering your remove checkbox correctly. Now here my column, I'm not asking to verify it. Actually, I want to select the column, right? So you need to select the column. Now if you run this test case, okay, this one is already we removed, because if you see here, we moved our shopping cart remove checkbox from here to here. That's why test case is showing as error. So let me delete this now. Okay, because your remove checkbox is not outside the table. Remove checkbox is within the table. See here, first row and your remove checkbox and everything. Now let us run this now. Okay, what it should do when I run this, it should check my first checkbox which is under row 1. Okay, simply right click and run. Right click and run. So if you see here, now it should be able to identify your checkbox even though your checkbox is not uniquely identified, because we are arriving to the unique row. See, it's got checked now. That means we are uniquely identifying the row and then the corresponding checkbox. Okay, that means we are able to tie our checkbox to a particular row, right? Row of the cell. So if you see here, successfully checked your checkbox. Correct? So now let me do one more thing. What if your checkbox is not scanned? Let's say I want to remove this checkbox now. Okay, from here. Let's remove the checkbox totally. So before you remove the checkbox, I want to delete this particular test case. Okay, let me delete the test case. Okay, let's delete the test case. And now remove your checkbox. Okay, delete your checkbox. Now what we have currently, we have only shopping cart. We only scanned shopping cart, corresponding row and column. So we have not scanned your remove checkbox, right? So how can you achieve same function? How can you steer remove checkbox without scanning? So there is a way. Okay, so all you need to do is, so if see, let me bring the module here. Okay, let me bring the module to the full screen. What I'm going to do, you need to right click on the cell where you want to add the control. Okay, here under row cell I want to add one technical, okay, I want to add checkbox control. Create embedded checkbox control. Just create embedded checkbox control. Okay, now I have created embedded checkbox control and rename this as remove checkbox. Remove checkbox. Okay, So I renamed it. Now under remove checkbox, now it is mandatory to know your technical information of your remove checkbox. What is the technical information? The remove checkbox has a technical property called name, remove from cart, and there is another technical property called tag input. Okay, let us create those technical properties manually. What I'm going to do, let's expand this. So if you see here, these are all my properties. Right click on remove checkbox and expand this, create technical ID parameter. I'm going to name this as name property. It's name property, right? Let's see here. Let us see. It's a name property. What is the property value? Remove from cart. I'm going to simply write remove from cart. Done. What is another technical property which is tag value input? Okay. Let's add tag, another technical property called tag, and the value is capital input. Okay, so now I'm able to add the control without scanning. Okay, let's go back here now. Let's pull the module again to aside. Okay, so let's go to test case. So if you see here, now I can simply drag this and drop here. Okay, so now again let me select my row again, row 1. We are performing the same thing. Okay, you are selecting your row, select action mode, and here let me select remove column. Under remove column I want to select but not verify. Select, and here this is my checkbox. You can just simply type true. Okay, and this is input. Save this now. Okay, now let us run this. Okay, let us run this now. What happens, we'll see. Right click, run. So basically this time we have not scanned the control. Instead we have created the control. Okay, and we have defined our technical properties. See, it's successful. So now one more quick update I want to give you. Okay, so we defined all the properties manually and now you are able to steer the control, correct? But if you observe closely here in the table, we have checkbox control, only one checkbox control, right? You don't have, for a particular row you have only one checkbox. Am I finding any other checkboxes in any other cells? No, I have only one checkbox for each and every row. So that means I need not to define the properties at all, technical properties at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this one, delete the technical property name, delete the technical property tag, and save this. Because my business type or control type is checkbox and I have only one checkbox control type for each row. So that's why I need not to define technical properties. If you have multiple checkboxes within the row, you need to define. Let's see, when I remove the technical properties, can I run this now? We remove the technical properties, we save now. This remove checkbox does not have your technical properties now. Okay, let me run this simply. This time what I'm going to do, I'm going to specify row number 2. That means I'm asking to check the row number 2. Okay, simply right click and run now. So I'm running this now without the technical properties of your remove checkbox because you have only one checkbox within the row. See, now without your technical properties also you are able to check the checkbox, right? So hope you all understand. It is really very important concept, guys. How can you steer the controls within the table? You can steer the control here, edit box, right? Whatever the way we steer the control of checkbox, you can also steer the control of edit boxes, right? Hope you all understand the different ways of handling controls of your row cell. Controls that are available in particular row under a particular cell. So if you have any queries, leave your queries in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Please do subscribe to the channel. Click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.